Hey collectors, so today we have a new Figma for you, and this is Reaper from Overwatch, and this is 393. Now I love the Overwatch range figures. I'm looking forward to collecting them all, so I thought this would be a great one. So I love this window display where you see Reaper in there, and he just looks awesome. So you see him here as well. I really love that pose. And then you see everything else that you get for him as well. And that's actually, there's a lot of stuff. He's going to be a big boy. Then we've got Reaper here. And then we've got Reaper at the top and Reaper at the bottom. So let's open up this bad boy and have a look inside. Before we jump into the review, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the cheeky notification bell, you'll be notified when more videos drop. And here is Reaper. And I've got to admit, this really kind of stands out a lot. I really do like this figure. So I love the kind of his mask, very kind of skull-like, and then we've got broad shoulders. For some strange reason, this kind of reminds me of the Undertaker from WWE for some strange, bizarre reason. And obviously we've got his kind of weapons, his kind of grenades, I'm guessing, on the side. You've got his belt buckles right there, and there's a plate of armor there too. That's really awesome. It kind of leads down into here. It's kind of like his body armor as well. I think it just looks awesome. Also Shredder. Gonna go with a Shredder from Turtles as well. But yeah, like even when you look at his armbands, just here, like the kind of detail that they've put in. So they've raised it here and here, so it does look like the character. We come down to the lower part here. We can see his belts, more of the kind of grenades you've got there as well, and then like kind of even on his belt, you've got kind of little spikes like that. It looks awesome. I generally do like this figure, and also kind of like this sort of, I'm guessing it's a belt pouch or something like that, or just like a belt buckle added on. Even on the legs here, you can see that this is kind of like a shiny thing where you've got matte around the other time. Yeah, even on his hands, it all looks really cool. And again, belt buckle right there. For this is quite a lot of detail on Figma that I've seen for a long time. I'm very, very impressed with it. Looking at his shoes, I've got to admit, again, the most impressive feet and shoes I've seen on a Figma for a very, very long time. I really like this. This reminds me of like the shoes in like rock boots. Not Rock Ferry. Basically, if you know what they are, like the really big, like kind of gothic boots that a lot of people wear. I just can't remember the name. It's something Rock something. I can't remember. But I generally think they look really cool. If you know what the shoes are, let me know down below in the comments. I love the fact that you've got the kind of markings, like he's been through stuff. So you've got one there, you've got them here, you've got them there. And even on here, like they're not just like copied over, they've got extra ones as well. This is an awesome figure. Here's the kind of back. This does kind of remind me of the Undertaker for some strange reason. So let's just have a look here. So we just bent him over a bit. I really like the kind of metal design. It looks very nice. It actually looks like metal. I know with other figures that we've seen with a kind of a armor or metal kind of coloring, they don't seem to work like that. It doesn't really kind of suit it. So here we've got the really nice kind of like extra weight down here, which again reminds me of like mechs and stuff like that. And then here we've got lovely, like kind of like the back of it. It looks fine. Like it could have been like something could have been added extra to it. And again, you've got the joints, and then you've got also some marks up here as well to make it look like proper trousers. The kind of the bottom of his jacket. Most of these sort of stuff just reminds me of, like, say, Seto Kaiba most of the time. But we can see that here there's a line that goes all the way down and again it goes up that way. So yeah, this is Seto Kaiba if he was like completely jacked up. Normally we kind of separate two, so we got the back and then the head, but I might as well get it all in this one. So I really like this kind of like metal work here. It looks like spine work to make him walk better or be able to perform better. You've got the kind of like spikes on his on one hand only, and again you've got spikes type here on the gauntlet. Again, more kind of like damage work around, which is absolutely fine. And again, this is where you put the hole for the stand, and then the hood is just a basic generic hood, which looks absolutely fine. You can take it off as well. Oh, okay, cool. There's more stuff in there I didn't realize, so we're gonna look at that in a second. So looking at the back, just there, you've got the neck, you've also got the head. So it just means that you can actually now have a proper look That's awesome. Like, really kind of stands out. It also kind of reminds me a lot of like kind of Skeletor. So you can move his head as well. So that's actually really, really cool. Metal Gear Solid and Skeletor kind of coming together. That's what kind of it reminds me of. So let's do the stress test. First of all, let's look at the leg. So that's a little bit kind of loose there, but it should be fine. So the foot kind of goes normally and kind of does it on that one as well. So you've got the kind of toes. You can move that one like that. You can bend the leg. Now this is kind of a nice little touch. That one's kind of a little bit stiff. That one is stiffer as well, but you can bend the legs as well. That's kind of awesome, like that. So let's have a look at the body. So you can move the top part around like so. Now we know this comes off, which reveals the head, so it kind of gives a bit more freedom. Now I really like the joints on his arms here and here. They look kind of good, kind of cool. So you can turn that all the way around there. Same sort of thing here. You can go all the way around like so. And again, you can move the hand. Like, I didn't notice this on his hands, but I really like the kind of like claws that he has. So arms can bend like so. Arms can bend like so. Now the head doesn't turn, oh, it does turn all the way around. So that's not too bad, but again, it feels like it shouldn't. So don't kind of do it if you don't need to do it. But again, I don't know why someone would have his head turned all the way around in a figure. So that kind of moves about up and down as well. So that's not too bad. It's a nice figure. Let's put this back on him. Yeah, it looks a lot better like that. I'm glad that here they actually stick in. I thought it was I don't know if I mentioned before, I thought it was kind of a thing where you can pull his head back, his hood back down here, but you just plop it off. So that's kind of cool. But I'm glad that it looks a lot better like that on there. But if you wanted to kind of adjust his head, you can do with your finger, or if you wanted to change it around, you can do. Let's have a look at the weapons. There's no head. This is really weird. Like, for a Figma, you should have different heads, but this hasn't got one. So this is very weird for me. So let's look at the weapons and what else you get. Now, I generally really like this sort of weapon. I've seen them about at cons, but I really love this sort of like the look. Even there, you've got like a little switch that says awesome. It doesn't say awesome, but it's awesome that they've included it. So I really like this sort of design. It's on both sides, so it's exactly the same. But one thing, you get two basically. They're both identical. There is nothing like any different. But you do get this kind of like a tack type effect, which basically just goes in like so, and then you've got it on the other one as well. So basically like that. So it looks awesome. Are they exactly the same? I think they're slightly different each one. So it kind of adds to it. You also you get this like magic thing. So I don't know what this is for. I'm guessing it's some sort of kind of blast thing. Or maybe he comes out of something, I don't know. But if you know what this is, let me know down below in the comments, because it's a bit weird to include it if it's not meant to be anything. But yeah, so the accessories you get. Oh, I will say one thing is, out of all the Figmas I've ever had, I've never had them, I don't know if you can see it, but in there or already, that is really kind of weird. So as soon as I take them all out, they're going straight back into that bag that we always get with all the Figmas. But it's weird to see that you get this without like the little stands. So maybe they didn't want to make bigger stands like they do normally to house the hands. But yeah, that's a little bit different. There you go. There is Reaper. I've got to admit that this is a really nice figure. I don't think there's anything bad I would normally say. The only things that I would make adjustments on are mainly maybe his feet, just because one felt really loose and one didn't. But to be fair, it's a decent figure. If you're going to start collecting the Overwatch range, definitely pick this up, because he's definitely worth it. I'm so glad to actually add him to my collection. Even though it's weird that he doesn't come with any extra heads or anything, I do like the fact that they included these sorts of things. The kind of like the visual effects to kind of give it a little bit more like to it. I think that's a very, very nice touch, and you don't really see that with many figures. Mainly they don't actually give a lot of them out, but the poses you can do, I think, maybe quite limited. But for your first one, if you're going to collect them anyway, I highly recommend it. I would say it's a really good figure, and I'm glad to, as I said before, I'm really glad that I added him to my collection. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there because there's not really much else I can say about the figure. So collectors, what are your thoughts on this? Would you add him to your collection, or are you going to pass on him? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you've liked this video, why not hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as check that cheeky notification bell for more videos when they drop. And as always, collectors, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.